You guys are so nosy, and I love it. Lately, you asked me, Kate, tell us more. How do you cut the cost of living alone? Tell us your thought process for how you save money. And not just that, you want to know the nitty gritty details. So not only is this realistic tips, but these are going to be specific tips. Stay nosy, people. Stay nosy, because that's how we learn. When we find out, what are people doing? Now listen, I don't get everything right, but here are 4 tips that help me. Number 1 is do it once a week. What am I telling you to do once a week? I am telling you to do the things that you have to do frequently, but just do it once instead of doing it multiple times. Laundry. I do it once a week. Dishes. I load, run, and empty my dishwasher once a week. Groceries / errands. Once a week. That's it. And this saves me so much money in the long run, because think about like the errands, for example. If you just do it once, you know, like this time I go out, I'm going to the post office, I'm going to the bank, I'm going to get groceries, I'm going to get gas. Like that's it. And that is the time that you run your errands. It saves me so much gas and it saves me time. Time is very important. Especially if you're living alone, you need to free up that time because maybe you have another job, maybe you have other earning potential, and you don't want to waste it all on laundry and chores. Oh gosh, no. No, 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 no. I work a full-time job. I teach a minimum of 4 dance classes a week. I am choreographing a musical for a school, and I run a YouTube channel. You think I got time to do all these other things over and over again? Nope, I don't. One time only. It will cut your costs. I know people that run their dishwasher every day. I know people that run their laundry every day. And some people with bigger families, maybe you have to do that. If you're living on your own, once a week, bam. Number 2, and this is to get you into my mindset, right? Just, you asked, I'm telling you. 3,000 is the new 0. Orange is the new black. 3,000 is the new 0. And what I mean by 3,000 is the new 0 is the minimum that is in my checking account at all times is, I'm going to say, insert 3,000. This might be different, right? Pick your own number, but 3,000 equals 0. And I know you're like, what does that mean? Your checking at all times is never going to be 0 if you think like me. It's always, I'm going to just say 3,000. It's roughly about right for me. 3,000, because that way you're never out of money. So we've talked about the budget buffer, right? Having a month at least, and a month is pretty solid, of living expenses in your checking at all time, right? So I heard somebody explaining that they just heard about this recently and they didn't know that other people do it this way. So I needed to say it out loud to you. 3,000 is the equivalent of 0, because people thought that, like, if you have nothing in your checking, that means you have 0. But in my mind, 3,000 is the bare minimum. Okay. Like, if it goes lower than that, you got to replenish that. This way, you're never out of money. Now, the other thing you have to do, I'm giving you the nitty gritty, okay? The nitty gritty. I pretend that money is not there. Have you guys seen Mean Girls? When she's like, the limit does not exist. This 3,000 does not exist. Oh, it's there. But no, you don't see it. It's not there. And people say to me, well, Kate, if it's there, I'm going to spend it. Look, you want to live alone? You want to be happy living alone? You got to do a little better. You got to do a little better than that. And you got to just pretend it's not there. And you got to know that 3,000 equals 0. And don't spend that money frivolously. That $3,000 is there to catch you when you fall. If you're hearing this for the first time, this might be very almost like confusing to you. Like, that's how you really think about it? Yes. 3,000 equals zero. Zero is like below zero. In my mind, that's just the way I think about it. You've always got to have that buffer in there. And then if for some reason mistakes happen, right? You got to get it back up to 3,000 because 3,000 is like you have nothing. So if you happen to have 5,000 suddenly in your checking, how much do you have? 5,000? No, you don't. You have 2,000 because 3,000 of that, you don't even see it. Nope. Suddenly you have $10,000. No, you do not. You only have $7,000 because that 3,000, it's not even there. Are you picking up what I'm putting down? That's just how I think. I'm just sharing. That's 3,000 equals zero. Number 3, if you want to afford living on your own, you need to find a way to not impulse spend and not be tempted all the time because there's temptation lurking at every corner. So number 3 is a must. You must create a for shopping email only. And you only use this email address for when you shop online. A lot of people shop online now. Maybe you still go out to stores, but maybe you still have to give them your email. This email, make it something really easy. And it's just so that when you say it at the store, this is another thing. I hate long email addresses. Like right now, like it's like I work in a school and I ask for the parent's email address and it's like 17 syllables long and it takes us 5 minutes just to spell it. Keep it really simple. So when you're at Bath and Body Works, you can be like, something really easy and not something weird and long. That's the first tip. But second of all, you're going to use this email only for shopping. Only, only, only. That way, you get to choose when you look at this email. If you keep all of your email in the same email, do you know how much junk mail you have to look at? You probably know because most of you probably have a regular email. But you are also getting tempted every time you see this. If you have a for shopping email only, you only go to that email to look when you have something special. Like maybe they send coupons. Okay, it's time for the holidays, so go look in that email. But other than that, you don't see it. Out of sight, out of mind. You get me? And the other thing is, if you keep all that junk mail in your view all the time, besides being tempted, besides being overwhelmed, besides it being distracting, you might miss important email from really important things. So don't have your junk shopping, all that coupons, promo codes, all in the same thing. Keep it separate. Have a for shopping email only so you only look at it when you want to look at it and it's not getting imposed on you at all times because you have to look at your email to see the important stuff. No, you don't. From now on, for shopping, email only, and only access it when you need it. Maybe don't even have it on your phone. Maybe that's one you just access through the computer. Or, you don't have to have, and do not have notifications for your emails going off. Oh my gosh. You don't need to know every time Kohl's has a sale. You don't need to know every time that there is something very tempting going on that will make you shop. If you're trying to live on your own and you're trying to spend on just the necessities and maybe some fun, don't be tempted by those shopping emails. Give it a try. It will change your life. If you've made it this far in the video and you want to cut the costs of living alone, type in the comments, cut it, and I'll know you're looking for ways to cut the cost so that you can live alone happily and not be stressing about money. Number 4, good sleep is mandatory. No longer are the days of you can sleep when you're dead. No longer are the days when you brag about, I only got 4 hours of sleep. It's not cute. It's not healthy. And if you're trying to live alone, it's not going to cut the mustard, my friends, because you got to pay the bills. Guess who's paying the bills? You. Guess who suffers if you don't get enough sleep and you can't function the next day? You. Guess who won't be able to pay their bills if they can't make enough money because they're exhausted all the time? By the way, I'm still exhausted all the time, but I still get it done. But I do get almost every night at least 7 to 8 hours of sleep. 8 is amazing. 9 is better. Doesn't happen most of the time, but 7 to 8 is like my sweet spot. And I know everybody functions a little differently, but just remember, this is mandatory. So you asked for the nitty gritty. I'm going to give you just 2 little tips that help me sleep better at night so that I function better. I can be more productive. I can be less feeling like garbage in the morning if I do these 2 things. And these are little specific things. Okay, 1, you must have a fan running in your room just to drown out noise. Now, some people might be like, oh, I have an app for that on my phone. I don't want my phone running all night. I don't know. I don't like that. I like the simple sound of a fan. And for me, it's like as soon as that fan turns on, my body and my mind go, oh, it must be time for bed. Like I've sleep trained myself. And I'm going to leave you a link down below of a simple Amazon Basics fan. Obviously, you can use any fan, but I'm going to leave you a link. It's very affordable and it just functions nice and smoothly. And you don't have to have it on you. Now, if you are middle-aged like me, you might like both of these tips for 2 reasons. Okay, I'm that girl with one leg out of the sheets and one leg under. Like I'm hot, I'm cold, I'm hot, I'm cold, right? And I sometimes have the fan blowing on me, but sometimes I don't even have it blowing on me. It's just blowing, but out into oblivion because I still need the sound. There are, especially when you live alone, there's little bumps and creaks and sounds in the night. And if you hear those sounds, you will be like, what was that? What was that? And I don't hear anything. That fan is on, it drowns out the world. It's time to sleep, people. The second thing I do, and this is newer, not too long ago, I have these little night lights. I'm going to leave a link down below so you can see what I'm talking about. And again, I'm middle-aged. I got to get up in the middle of the night. I got to use the restroom, okay? I used to go to the restroom, turn the lights on. I'm blinded. I can't see anything. It's so bright and it wakes me up. Like all of a sudden I'm awake. Like, oh man, like you don't want to go to the bathroom because it's so bright. So instead you get these little lights that it's motion sensor. So when you go in the bathroom, you have enough light to take care of your business, but it doesn't really wake you up. I'm still half asleep in there, right? So it's just perfect. It's just a little light that makes such a little difference in this world of mine, right? So I'll leave those links down below for the fan and for the night lights. They're motion sensor, they're awesome. And then it just makes your sleep sound. And then if you have to get up in the middle of the night for whatever reason, some people need a drink of water. I always keep a bottle of water near my bed. It's another thing I always do, but it'll help you go right back to sleep because sleep is mandatory to function properly so that you can keep paying your bills, do the things you need to do, and, enjoy life. What was that? You want more tips? I'm so glad you asked. Oh my goodness. I've got tons more for you. If you like talking about frugal living, budgeting, saving money, hit that like button and then click on this video next. Think it'll be helpful. Guys, thanks for being here. I'll see you in the next video. Bye.